Yeah, I'm gonna let Light talk.
Hey.
Intro.
And we are live.
So much. Let's get it. Your favorite podcast is back at it. You know what I'm saying? Now better than ever. For the most part, as you see the glimmer and shine in all the Sound Mind sweaters. You know what I mean? What you're getting right now is the full-fledged merchandise. This is the prototype. So for the most part, damn, I kind of feel like I'm spitting a verse right now as I speak. Hey, got the crowd behind me and all that. All right, so listen, as you see my two brothers donned in the finest of all fashions, it's the Sound Minds. You see the reflection, you know what I mean? Reflection and introspective. Shout out to my peoples, you know what I mean? Jesse Ray. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Jess Rivera, you know what I'm saying, with her reflections and introspection. So today is the season premiere.
He waited until it got tense. You heard me?
Yeah,
he waited until it got tense, and then
my man came through ninja type.
This is the one.
Yo, this right here. So this is the season premiere, man, and I'm gonna get into everything else later on. Now that our brother is on, this right here is a special episode, man. This is a season premiere, so we only had to start off the 5th season as powerful as possible, man. And what better way than to talk about the power of the pen? So when I say that, definitely the duality in regards to the double entendre of how we are all spitters and all writers, but who better than my brother, Poison Peasy, who's a part of every single thing that hip-hop is. Brooklyn Knights own Poison Pen.
Nah.
Hey, look, yeah, that's crazy. Got the nose string.
Best buy.
So if people don't understand that notion above him, that's the halo above the head, man. To you know what I mean? To anybody who's from Brooklyn, especially my brother who's always been repping notion since damn near Pampers and all the way through. This is my brother right here, man. We are so happy to have you being. We've been talking about having you on for so long, and the stars had to align correctly, man, because we know that you overseas, and for the most part, man, you touring on the moon, on the stars, Mars, and all that.
before the pandemic and shit, yeah.
Word. Yo, so let me. All right, so I'm gonna finish this introduction real quick, man. I got so much love for this dude, B. When I tell you, and I said this on my lives, Penn has one of those most fulfilling presence. Any room he steps in, you like, damn, there go Penn, right? And you look at Penn's structure, his stature, you look at you hear him, you hear his voice, and you like, yo, this dude Penn, he looked like you know what I mean? But my brother is one of the coolest dudes you will ever meet in your life. Always sitting there trying to help others, man, and I always appreciated that about him. You know, for the most part, man, we're gonna get into the history of a lot of things, man. But this dude right here, when I tell you, presence in a room, presence on a track, it don't matter what he's doing or where he's at, you're gonna know Poison Pen is around your circumference. You know what I mean? So salute to you, brother, for being you for all the years that I've known you to be you. You know what I mean? And you ain't never switch up, man. And I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
So let's get into it, man. Pen, if you could, man, give your I threw the alley. Please explain to the people who they are. Whoever doesn't know, which would be wild to even imagine, but the floor is yours, brother. The mic is yours.
I don't know anybody who doesn't know Penn. I'll tell you that. But I'm gonna let Penn introduce himself before I get started.
I mean, I didn't know where to start neither, man. You know, I'm Penn, man. I've been pretty much my whole life been doing this hip hop thing, man. Whatever. I'm a utility man, yo. I'm a Renaissance man, really, because you know, I know how to serve multiple purposes at a high level.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm an MC first and foremost. You know what I mean? That's my love beyond any of this other shit is rhyming. But you know, as time progresses, you gotta evolve. Like that rap shit is cool, but you gotta, if you want to stay moving along in this realm, you gotta figure out everything so you know the people know me from you know being one of the main cogs of this battle rap mechanism. You know,
absolutely.
Yes, so sir. People know me from that. You know, a
like
lot of people
no one
know
else.
yeah, a lot of people know me. A lot of people know me for my indie, for the indie music I've been doing for years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know me for, you know, I've put on multitudes of MCs. You know what I mean? You know, from the Grind Time platform to the URL platform to the King of the Dot. Every major platform I've worked with and developed artists for. You understand what I'm saying? And I also, you know, I'm a part of a collective called Rebel Arms. So my brother Immortal Technique, that's a whole nother chamber of what I do. You know what I'm saying? You know, my brother Immortal Technique, that's my right hand man. You feel me? So you know,
shout out to Team Homie.
Yeah, we've been in tune, you know, the
shout
whole
to Stronghold.
Yeah, so you know, I wrote the Immortal Technique. You know, we heavy in tune. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this music together for years, and I travel with my brother. We do that. So you know, shouts to my brother Immortal Technique.
Yes, sir.
I do a lot of shit, man. I do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Resume long out here, huh?
I do video game voices, man. I used to fix phones, nigga. What you need done? Let's go. Nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. So it's cool.
I've got so many memories, man.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like our history, like the funny thing, all the shit that most people know me from, right? That shit is like years upon years after our interactions. You feel me? So like that's how deep. Like my history got mad layers and levels. And the funny shit is,
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not getting started with the whole interview, but I don't even understand if you know the first time I met you was out on like Lafayette by 88 Hip Hop when it was closed, like nothing was open. It used to be a gas station, and it was just like 12 heads out in the street. And the battle had no regulation. You know, it was just people would pop up battles in the staircase. So it was one of the, like a simultaneous, it was enough of us, a battle popped up. And I never forgot in my life, I never heard a line like this in my life. Out of all the battles I've been in, seen, YouTube, in person, the dude said something like, and it's no disrespect because I don't remember who the person was. And I didn't even know Penn. It was just like, we out there. We out there. Whoever's out there, we out there. You know what I'm saying? So no disrespect to anybody. But the dude said, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna probably shoot you, blah, 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 my clothes, blah. And I just heard this dude go, "You not intimidating." And when you have spontaneous battles in the street, it's no security. Like you never know what can happen. I grab people's fists in mid. Like people get mad, they angry. And when you say certain things with certain conviction, you don't hear anything else from that point. And you got to understand when you're not on the stage and there's not security and it's just mad deep. It's late at night. Nobody's around, and you in the middle of the city. And someone looks at you in front of you and your boys, and he goes, "You not intimidating." It's like there's nothing else to say at that point. So from that moment on, you know what I mean? He wasn't even saying like, I'm this, I'm that, and that. He was like, you are doing too much, my G. You out here in front of all these MCs that's for real with it, and you doing too much. You out of pocket. So from then on, Penn was my brother. Like anybody that could just speak real to you like that. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, continue. I just want to let you know that's how far we go back.
Yeah, but see, at essence, that's out of everything I've done in this hip hop shit, that's the shit that I love the most. That's the shit that I love the most. Like I still rhyme when I write. I still rhyme from that perspective. And that's why, you know what I mean. It's kind of confrontational, really, because when you outside in the street, like you gotta. There's no, like you said, there's no boundaries, there's no nothing. So you gotta lay something down. That's just what it is. So I always kept that mentality rhyming. To this day, that's what I love. That shit that you mentioned, K. That's just better than everything else, bro. That shit better than the stage. All the other shit that I did was because I had to evolve in this shit. It's like, okay, we good at this shit. We something that we love, okay, but let's figure out how to do what we love and make money.
I would
Not-
say let's get into that then, because I mean that's like the essence of you, you know, like to hear the background stories, those stories that came before what everybody know you for. Like, I need to hear some more stories like that. Like, you know, like from especially if Light and Ka, like y'all hit us with them stories and like draw that out, because I think that definitely needs to be highlighted because it contributes to, you know, the overall aspect of who this legend is right here.
Actually, let me formally introduce y'all to Rashaman, Poison Pen. Rashaman is like the youngest member, newest member of the Sound Minds, you know what I mean? And he hosts things that, matter of fact, I'm gonna just skip to the end of the whole interview. Everybody that been on, we try to bring y'all on the track. We doing the Sound Minds compilation, so you already know we're gonna bring you into that. But Rashaman probably gonna produce the track, engineer it, like he does all that, and he's a little bit younger, so you know what I mean? He's one of those people that makes you proud. And that's one of the things we're gonna talk about. When you've been doing this for a minute, it's certain cats where you be like, is rap getting corny, whatever. Rashaman is one of those younger cats that makes you proud. So I just want to let you know who he is.
Appreciate
you know what I mean?
that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, peace to God. Peace to the legend right here.
Peace.
Yo, you know what's crazy too, man, Penn? I got to be real with you, brother. And I'm gonna go back to the introduction, right? Ain't nothing scripted here.
Take them back. Take
you know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
I think one of the dopest things about you, though, I'm gonna be real with you, King. You always been you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how people in the industry, man, you get around certain circles and ciphers, and you like, yo, you wasn't that dude yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And with you, Penn has always been Penn. Like, there's never been a switch up on, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, your loyalty has always been one that had to be commended and recommended in regards to what true brotherhood is. You know what I mean? I remember hitting you up, man, a couple of times on the horn, like, yo, Penn, I got it. And you would just advise, because again, it's crazy because Stronghold and Sound Minds was rocking together at the same time doing what we do. But y'all were a little bit older than us, and y'all had more of the experience, but y'all it never shadowed for you to be on some, yo, this is the way you should do this, or this is what you should do.
Hold on. As far as Stronghold, I was the youngest one. They was all older than me. So I was younger than them.
And that's what I'm saying, though. That mentality.
I was the youngest one.
I was about to ask,
I
where the
never
gray
knew
hair
that.
at? If you older, where the grays at, man? That beard.
Hold up.
That beard.
What? Like, no.
Yo, I didn't know that.
We had beats over. Okay, so you already know. Almost damn near. We on. This is the beginning of the 5th season. Blow the horn. 5th season, episode 1.
Let's go.
Almost damn near everybody on the 4th seasons that we had has mentioned you, or you've been involved in their story. From my brother Mez all the way back to my brother Breeze up the throne, right? Which he probably be like the general of Stronghold or something like that.
Breeze was the big bro.
The OG, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, so give us, like he told us a little bit of Origin Strong Folk. You was the youngest, my G. Can you tell us what that was like? Cause people know you was a legendary cat, like the OG to them there. What was it like being the youngest? Like, did you understand the magnitude of what Stronghold was? Like, was it just like something? What was that? Please break that.
Be real, bro. Yo, son, like at that time, I used to, you know what I mean? We was in school. I listened to fucking, you know what I mean? Like shit like Stretch and Bob, whatever have you, you know what I mean? I had no idea. If the thing is, but from young, I was already was running with the big homie Sean Price. I was running with boot camp for years. Like I was they little homie too.
Rest in peace, Sean.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was rolling with Ruck and Rock before Helter Skelter had an album out. Like I was with them from day one type shit.
Wow.
I say day two. Like as far as the career, their rap career, I was there from the beginning. Like, you know what I mean? So I was already experienced just seeing shit, just getting my feet wet. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I never. This is so crazy. I'm gonna say some shit that people probably not gonna believe. I never had no aspirations to put out no album. I never had no aspiration to make no fucking record no music.
Yo, when they sent me your CD, when they sent me Hoodlum, When you was like, I'm not a thug, I'm not this and that, I'm a hooligan. And we understood what that meant. You know what I mean? We understood being in a real pocket, but at the same time, don't put your regular labels. And I was like, yo, he got us on Duck Down. That was on Duck Down Records too. When I got your record and I was out of the state, I used to play that ridiculously because it was like, you doing so many things. You know, I put that whenever I had a radio show because it was like, you doing so many things on stages and live, and it's not really the same world. That's what people don't understand. They think if you have records, but when you doing live, it's hard to just go in the studio. It's so much energy live and touring.
I was reverse engineered. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the street, and from the 88 hip hop shit that you mentioned, that was one of the first places I went. Like I get out of school, whatever come down, you know what I mean? We go 88 hip hop. So that was the first, like that was like one of the first places I jumped in, like off of the block, like coming from my block in the style. So like it literally, the shit just all happened and I just kept running. Like that's literally the answer. I realized that I had the talent for it and I kept running. But my whole thing was, I guess maybe I studied well, so I learned quickly. So I kind of outgrew a lot of this shit fast. Like, all right, I love when I'm outside, but I can't. I ain't paying no bills with this shit. Oh, I can go
just for people who don't understand.
Let me do that. So like, and after a while, I was bringing it to Breeze. I was Breeze's little man. Breeze got me by years, right? I met Breeze out in the street too. I used to just run, I would run out in the street. I was a nigga in the street. Fuck the internet. I didn't stay home on the internet. I had the internet at home. I didn't stay on. I was outside. So
outside, you heard me?
Yeah. So
all over LES, Brooklyn.
It go from the ciphers fucking with Breeze and all that. And now Breeze was making records. So Breeze was like, yo, Breeze let me jump on one of his remixes. And I'm like, oh shit, I could rhyme on a track. That's fire. Like that was all like word. I was fully content with rhyming outside and fucking
PH.
Totally cool with that.
Rest in peace to PH. PH was one of the first dudes that would be out there with us in the street, jump in the battle, go overseas on a tour, and then you see his mind with Fat Beats, and he was just a cool dude at the same time.
Right, and he told me to do it too because I knew PH before all the people that in rap. Like I knew PH before all of them because I knew PH from I was raised. I'm from the Star, but I spent a lot of years in Sunset Park. You know what I'm saying? So I went to school in Sunset and all that. And PH was from Park Slope, which is right next to Sunset. So I met PH from young. Like PH is older than me too. You know what I'm saying? So I met PH from young.
Sunset Park. What time is it?
But you know what's funny? That movie was not filmed in Sunset.
Damn.
That shit ain't had nothing to do with Sunset. And if you go to Sunset Park, that movie had way too many black people to be Sunset Park. Because I was the only black motherfucker on my block in Sunset Park. That shit was Puerto Rican as fuck. So that movie was all
yo, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, great movie though, because it was a great movie. And plus that
I'm the youngest, so I watched Sunset Park and I was represent. I thought that represent.
Nah, the thing is, I liked it too, just for a movie. But but like as far as authenticity, that shit was
word. I'm so glad you put me on.
Outside.
The high school that they filmed Sunset Park in is in Crown Heights, my nigga. That shit a fucking that shit like a fucking 40-minute trip from Sunset Park. That's not even Sunset Park. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I was Breeze, I'm traveling with Breeze. So I was just being this little hype man and shit. I'm just running around doing the hype. But the thing is, like, I would, I got bars. I would always rhyme. I would always freestyle. I would always, you know what I'm saying? I had energy. And straight up and down, one day, we was in Boston. So I was doing shows. I was doing paid shows before I had any record. I ain't had no record. Just give me some instrumentals.
Hold on, I just gotta say something because we going fast for people that don't understand. Like, there's a lot of people that understand, but for those who don't know, I got y'all. So basically, what he breaking down right now is most people release records and try to get signed to labels and whatnot, so that they can get booked for shows. When you got a record out, people know your name, the vendors know your name, the venues know your name, the promoters, and then they book you for shows. What my brother right here is saying, he had so much notoriety from knowing artists, from rocking stages, from being ready to battle, step up when people needed him, that he didn't need a song that people be like, oh, well, I don't know him. He had better than a song, because of relationships. It's like he rocked shows, you know what I mean? And I've seen it to the point where people, we jump on stage, and somebody try to disrespect him, or you know what I mean, at the stage, we'll jump on stage to defend him. You know what I mean? He had that type of notoriety where when Penn's in a place, everything good, hip hop's being represented. That's what you want as a venue promoter.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, and when you hear that bell ring, that means you just got hit with a gem.
But yeah, so we was doing shit like that. So we running around. I'm doing shows with Breeze all up and down Boston and shit like that. I'm hyped because I still live at home with my mom's. Like, I'm like, oh shit, I'm making a little $300-$400. If you ain't got paid no rent, $300-$400 is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
I'm making this little bread and shit. And then what happened was we had a show. This is word of mother. This is how my recorded career started. Now because I was perfectly fine when you mentioned the Stronghold shit. I was perfectly fine, but like, yo, all right, 116, spit that shit, go ape shit, and then go in the back and chill. Like it was easy. Like spit a verse, get out of there. Spit a verse. I had no aspirations to make no solo music. But when we was on stage, it's like, okay, well, I had to do routines dolo, like, you know what I'm saying? So I just started.
Yo, I forgot about the routine. Hold on, people don't even know what that means. People don't even. Yo, Stronghold. Oh my God, yo, Stronghold had routines. And when I say this, you know how soul singers come out and this and that, and you like, okay, well that would be corny and that's not hip hop. When I tell you they had routines that was hard, they had rap, hip hop. I'm sorry, I hate to do this. I know
wait,
could
please.
You please just explain
Slow that
like
down.
how y'all came up with the routines? Because when you say doing a routine by yourself, people don't, aside from arsonists, shout out to the arsonists. Shout out to the arsonists. The arsonists also did routines. Only hip hop groups I knew that was holding it down, real hip hop, that did routines was arsonists and Stronghold. Please tell me how that came about.
Well, see, like I said, they was all older. Everybody in Stronghold older. So Breeze,
okay, yep.
You know what I mean? Breeze was the oldest one. So like because the first song that we did that I ever appeared on was a Breeze single. And he had me, he wrote the hook. I wrote my verse. Nobody write my rhymes, but he wrote the hook that I did the hook. And I was doing the hook. It was like some shine nah, some shit like that. And no bullshit. When I did the hook, at that time, I had no idea it was an old fucking hip hop record from like 80, whatever, 79. I had no idea that it was a fucking old record from, like, I don't know if it was Cold Crush. It was one of the old crews, Crash Crew, whatever. It was a Shine Nah, one of them routine type shits, right?
Shout out to Cold Crush.
That was Cold Crush, the Shine Nah shit? I don't know. Well, whatever. We'll get to that later. But anyway,
shout out to Grandmaster Kaz and Tone anyway.
That's mandatory. That's mandatory. So Breeze had me do that hook. You know what I mean? So it had the old school shit in it. I had no idea that it was. My palette didn't go back that far. So all the routine shit came from them. You know what I mean? Because Breeze used to do back before I even knew Breeze in like the mid 90s, Breeze used to do was it Hot 97 or was it Power 105 didn't exist? So I guess it was Hot 97. He used to do the show. They had the freestyle show with the Furious 5 and shit like that. Or it was like they had a freestyle show on like Sunday nights or whatever, and I think it was the Furious 5, like Melly Mel and all of them. And Breeze was like their young gunner, you know what I'm saying? So he would be so he was spit. So Breeze,
I didn't even know that. Breeze didn't even tell us that. Wow.
Yeah. See, listen, man, there's so much. I'm pretty sure when we watch this interview, I'm gonna be like, oh, there's mad shit I didn't mention. That's just how it goes. But yeah, so Breeze used to do that. So Breeze was already tapped in with the old school shit, the routines, the shit from that era that I wasn't tapped in with, like the early '80s shit, the '70s shit, the tapes. Like I got up on that shit afterwards, just as a historian going back and doing my history. But when we started doing it, I ain't know none of that shit. So
Yo, thank you for
that's how
saying that too, because that's when you get to that point, like we saying, being nice with the lyrics, making money, finding other things, becoming a mentor. One thing that we've all done at that point is go back and do our history and find out who came before us. So I just want to thank you, man, thank you for saying that. We all do that. If you're gonna be sustainable in this, go back and learn who did it before you and show respect.
But that's how the routines came, because like we used to have these writing sessions, and like I said, Breeze would always put me onto the old school shit like that, and index and shit, and then we would just write rhymes, and then we would all just be together, and then we would just like think of routines and skits and shit. You know what I mean? So then when we go do our shows and shit, we would act out the skits, and motherfuckers go crazy because nobody, like I said, the arsonist was probably the only other ones. Nobody was doing shit like that. You know what I mean? Because nobody was doing that shit.
Not at all. It didn't even make sense. Like, that's why I need you to describe. Because if you said that to someone, it doesn't make sense.
It was like
when you see it,
shit, bro.
It was like when you saw that, it just changed the whole show. Like,
give me an example of one. Give me an example of a show that I'm trying to picture it.
I'm trying to think of an old skit. Like this, we talking the beginning of my shit. We talking like not. But let me think. Because we didn't even get to the shit that everybody know yet. Like, that's crazy. So this could be a long conversation. It's funny. Stronghold was like the beginning of my whole everything. So that's like it's funny because I cherish the memories, but like I'm like that shit was like so far back before I even got lit. It's like you. Yeah, like that's a whole nother person.
That's like, back when Ace Level was rolling up with Sound Minds. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, hell yeah. But,
and you know what though? I think at the same time, while you say that though, Penn, the dope thing about it is that Stronghold. Like, honestly, anybody who knows hip hop, the real hip hop, you know what I mean? And I ain't even talking about the commercial of it. You got to mention Stronghold. You know what I'm saying? Funny. And for you, you know what I mean? You was a pillar of that, brother. And I got to be like, and this is not no shameless plug or nothing, man. But in my track, Over the Influence, I had to give y'all those roses. You know what I mean? You and BCC. You know what I'm saying? There was some slickness I was getting at. Some funniness.
I'm both for those, so that's even fire. I'm both.
You feel me? And it's a need. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie to you. A lot of people like, yo, the joint I said about BCC was people in the industry try to get off with some shiny suits and wrists, but I got the real from that boot camp clique. You know what I mean? Now we know who I'm talking about with the shiny suits and wrists, man. Bad Boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they rolled, to me, was a big part of the debt of what hip hop, the culture. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not only gonna put it on them. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, yo, Stronghold and BCC, like, you know what I mean? I had to give y'all roses on that, man, just because regardless of whatever is now, historically speaking, y'all was so dope, man, and real pillars of what hip hop was and represented that I had to salute y'all. You know what I mean? So I thank you for the part that you played.
Shout out to Tsunami. If you talking underground NYC, Stronghold better in the conversation. Yeah.
AK, you know
why, bro? I was shot in hip hop because of like that. Like, people talk about all these groups. I'm like, yo, son, like, niggas don't mention like the shit that we did all throughout these years. And it's so funny because it's so buried in the history and shit. But it's like, yo, bro, we did a lot of things that motherfuckers are still emulating and doing, like whether it's battle rap or just the regular hip hop rhyming aspect of it.
Now, yo, go ahead. Out of respect for the listeners, you know, we got a question in the chat. You know, shout out to Daniel. Okay. We definitely want to show love to the listeners in the chat that's asking questions. You know what I mean? So shout out to Daniel. He said, how do you feel about asking Poison? How do you feel about rappers in the industry today, and would you do a track, and who would you do a track with?
I'm very, 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 like, I'm tapped in. Like, I'm not one of these. The problem with a lot of people, This goes for pretty much everyone. Period. Like in the hip hop realm.
Yep.
Everybody swears that their era was the best era. Everything after them is whack. You know what I mean? And I think that shit is the most ridiculous train of thought. Now, granted, there are a lot of things that I think there are a lot of things that I
convenient. It's a very convenient. If it's true, it's a very convenient truth.
Right. So my thing is, there was a lot of trash shit in your era, and there's a lot of trash shit now. There's a lot of dope shit in your era. There's a lot of dope shit now. So I stayed like, think about it. Like all I've done my entire career, like most of what I've gotten props for is what I've done in battle rap. And all I do is battle rap is present the world with new fucking talent, new artists. That's all I've been doing. So all I do is listen to new shit. You feel me? Like,
you was up on Iron Solomon before anybody. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like the range. Like you're. All right, go ahead. Go
ahead. But as far as who I fucks with now, like I'm heavy. Like I'm very, I'm Brooklyn. I'm super duper Brooklyn. You feel me? So like I'm heavily tapped in with all my Brooklyn guys. Now the drill scene is heavy. You know what I mean? It's very real outside in the street right now. But as far as the music, I do appreciate a lot of the fucking music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, you know what I'm saying, are at odds with each other and shit like that. You know what I mean? You know, hopefully a lot of things get resolved. I'm just talking about the music right now.
Yep.
Chef G, that's one.
But as far as the music, you even though it went to the drill sound, it's still, you know what I mean? Like let's talk about it. Like, that's not Brooklyn. That's
my thing is this. The shit, the origin. We all know the origins of drill, Chicago and London. No doubt. There we go. Not a question. That's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? If we want to use that logic, then everybody that raps, we can say that's our shit.
Yep.
Everybody that raps anywhere, if you want to use that logic, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you in Antarctica. I don't care if you. That's our shit. You jacking New York niggas. Fuck you doing? We started that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not our way. Our way is to give a decipher. Right. Our way is to give a spot for everybody to put their flavor on it. You know what I mean?
What I think
take something and give it back. That's what sampling is, correct?
And by the way, I agree 100%. I do agree with everything that you're saying. You know, I just threw the question out to actually speak.
We here for dialogue. It's all good. But what people fail to realize is this is what the disconnect is now. Traditional New Yorkers is used to that traditional New York sound.
Yeah.
I've been around. I'm a grown ass man. I've been around for multiple eras. Yo, my nigga, it's not 1996.
Talk to him.
You feel me? That was 25 years ago. We got to move on. We got to evolve. You can use shit like that as inspiration. You feel me? Like, you can use shit like, okay, I listen to this, so therefore I concoct something else. But the problem is now, New York has everybody. The stigma is like New York doesn't have the identity no more. That's the thing. Because we come from an era where every city, every town, every region had a separate identity. But that's also before the whole fucking world was connected by their fucking phones.
There you go.
So everybody has the fucking same influences now. Whereas before, like when we was working records, like the Master P was working I'm Doubted. You know how long it took to get to New York? Because they had to physically work the market and send the shit through record pools. It wasn't like, I'm going to email it to everybody at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So the difference is now everybody kind of picks from the same influences. So everything is kind of from the same pool. So people think, okay, New York don't have an identity. But the thing is, Brooklyn niggas made drill their identity. It is what it is. So when it come to that, like, and my thing is this, you know, my whole life, I listen to gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? I grew up off Ice, whether the subject matter is positive or negative. I'm just talking just gangster shit, guns, drugs, violence, street shit. You know, I grew up off Ice Cube. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up on fucking MOP, Mobb Deep. You understand what I'm saying? So these little niggas is talking the same shit, just with a different fucking cadence.
Yep.
Whoa.
These
Yep.
niggas is talking
Whoa,
gangster shit just with a different cadence. I was
whoa.
listening to gangster shit for 25 years. So now because they saying with a different cadence, I gotta I'm supposed to push that shit away. Like, come
Oh,
on, bro.
wait. Or it's different. It's different from the early shit. We used to say, nah,
It's
same shit. Like, what you talk about? It's the
all
same
the same subject matter.
same
I mean,
subject
we
matter.
talk about drill, and you know, if you want to talk the negative aspects, okay, a lot of drillers banging on wax. A lot of drillers banging on wax, no doubt. Motherfuckers been banging on wax for years.
Yep.
Like, how many diss records have you heard in rap? Niggas been making diss records since before niggas like us was probably born. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? Now, whether it should be glorified or something, that's a totally different.
I mean, KRS one of my favorite MCs. Like without his back and forth with Shan, I don't know if I ever would have heard KRS. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So a lot of this shit is off competition. But the thing is with the drill shit, it's the streets that bled into the studio as opposed to the studio bleeding into the street. So I mean, shout out to my dudes, man. I love a lot. Like as far as let's get back to who I like out here.
There you go. I was going to ask you that. Like, getting back to the
2
question, who would you rock with?
Yeah, 2 G's, Chef, Sleepy. I fucks with Smooth Val. You know what I'm saying? I like rest in peace. I was fucking with FGB Duck Heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
I was fucking with Duck Heavy.
Rest in peace.
Of course I fuck with, I fucks with West and all them. Those is my niggas. You know what I mean? I know them niggas for years, so I fucks with all of them. Like that's more traditional, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I love the bros. I mean, if you look at all their early shit, that was all the features was my friends. Like, so I've been tapped in with them niggas forever.
But they new to the world too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they new to the world.
They're very well known to the world. So I definitely bangs the whole Griselda shit, man. You know what I'm saying? West Benny Khan, those are my niggas. So I fucks with them heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just named about.
Then you got like the God Fahim and stuff like that, like coming in on that whole wave.
So it sounds like to me. It sounds like to me from this question, we could possibly get a Poison Pen on a drill beat, huh? Like
I did one with my crow. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
My criminal MK. You know what I'm saying? The Hoover and all that. I did a song for him. That's my little bro guard and shit. We did a joint called Hades Time. But see, it was just fun, man. Like I do what I do. I'm always gonna be me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, we did a joint. I don't know when the fuck he dropping it and all that. But I rhyme, bro. I'm a rhyme.
Yeah,
I
mean,
like,
when you do it, you do it. When you do it, you do it. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like just for those listening that got lost, like Penn did something remarkable, which was he already got the thing that people put out records to do, which is to get known in different places, have people that want to bring you out to different places and get the bread from the shows. So when you're trying to go through the label and the songs to do that, that's when they start giving you a certain sound that you have to do this sound, so you've been known by that sound. But once you recognize, it's like you get in a cipher with, like, how many times do we go overseas and you learn some words from the local people and say some of their words when you get on, like, you know what I mean? If you were a real hip hop dude, you learn some words from them and shout their words out, because it's about communication. It's not about being like, I'm from here and I don't mess with you. You represent where you're from, but it's about communication, letting people know, like, thank you for bringing me where you at. I'm learning something from you. You learning something from me. You know what I mean? Like all that other shit is really industry. But I do have a question about that, because like we were saying, when that split came up between like underground and commercial, and like you could say Raucous and Bad Boy. I remember, matter of fact, that was one of the times where it's only 2 times I battled Technique, you know what I mean? Because Technique was my brother, if anything. Like, you know what I mean? We was all running around in these spots, and you know, Penn knows I'm not good at battling people I know. I'm not good at battling people.
Before you go any further, let me say something. This is real fucking life. You know what I'm about to say, right? You know what I'm about to say. Yo, this guy right here is the fucking reason I became friends with Immortal Technique.
Yo!
And you know what's crazy about that, Pimp? I was gonna bring it up later, brother. Again,
It's a fact. Fact.
genuine love. I remember seeing you on Vlad talking about the battle between Kaheem and Immortal Tech and shouted us out and was like, yo, shout out to, Sound Minds. And
I
and
think that
again,
was Vlad TV. Ah, that's what's up.
you know what I'm saying? So, and this is wild, man.
Nigga, that's a drop right there, nigga.
You feel me? It was only right, man.
That's
it was crazy.
That was the first actual time you met Tech. You know what I mean?
I met him before, but that was the first time we had a real
like a relationship.
I knew who he was already. Like we was
right.
Cool, like on some what up, but we wasn't friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't have a bond like that yet. That night when y'all battled, I had to go talk to that man. You understand?
He was disrespectful. He killed everybody.
And to this day, like that's my fucking ace to this day. Years, decades later. But I
gotta ask you a question before we even get into that story. I gotta ask you a question because it speaks to the thing about the different genres and everything. That joint, we went to wetlands, bragging rights, New York, and all over. But you and I believe Mahogany was with you, right? And y'all had, because that whole thing, people was always saying like it's a rip between this and that. You was one of the people. Shout out to Kanye. People who hate on Kanye a lot. He's another one that never saw a rip between black people and musicians. He would always bring them together. I felt like you did that, brother, because I remember Hooked. Wasn't that that was some kind of industry sponsor involving probably Bad Boy or whoever in the industry at the same time, but you was connecting them with underground people. Am I right?
Yeah, I could break that down to you. That's easy. I used to work, and this is all fresh out of school shit. Like all this is all like pretty much like all one. This is all one giant board. It just kept rolling. Like it's all. I used to work at this spot, right? Called Delia's. If y'all want to Google it, y'all Google it. But I'll just say this is like fresh out of school. And they used to hire a lot of people. And when I tell you half of hip hop or the up and coming, the young motherfuckers at the time, even some of the older motherfuckers, a lot of people worked there. When Immortal Technique came home, got that nigga a job there. I think Lifelong worked there.
Kinetic.
Breeze worked there for a minute. DJ Static worked there.
Kinetic, my homie Kinetic.
Kinetic. Meat Pie from OBS, Bad Seed. Like we all worked at the same fucking place. Like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, there was a shorty that I got cool with that I worked with named Rachel. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all real deep history. This is crazy. So my homegirl Rachel worked there. Like we got cool. I met her there because she was a real cool sister. I still say what's up to her to this day. I found, me being the hip hop dude, I was in the loop. I found out about hook.com, you know what I mean? Whatever. And so we was all just talking about the shit, and she happened to mention that she was going for a job there. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. And no bullshit. I said this shit. I talk shit. I'm a fucking comedian half the damn time. So I'm like, yeah, yo, save a slot for me when you get there. I'm gonna go with you over there. Fuck this place. And she got me a fucking job there.
Yo, Rob, put me on the bump.
Yeah.
Laws of attraction.
Yeah. So I started working for this company, and my homegirl who I worked with was my boss, but we were friends. But she was my boss. She brought a bunch of us on. And matter of fact, we bought life there. Anyway, so we started working there. And what I was and Hook.com was very innovative because at the time, the whole e-commerce shit wasn't like you see how now you can just pick your phone and get any and everything, Amazon Prime, whatever. You can do anything on your jack nowadays or whatever have you. Back then, everything wasn't as 1, 2, 3. So we were the first like hip hop website. We had a contract. We had a contract with Eminem. We did Eminem's first website. We did SlimShadyWorld.com. It was Hook.com, and it was there was a lot of money behind it. So one of the dudes had ran a few multimedia companies. Puff was a partner. So I'd be at work, and sometimes Diddy would pull up and shit, and I'm in the office, and fucking Harry Belafonte pull up and just start. I'm having conversations with Harry Belafonte at work, talking about his friend. Oh, you're from Bed-Stuy? I have friends in Bed-Stuy. And I'm like, yo, you Harry Belafonte, my guy. And
that's so crucial because there's so many people that would be like, oh, Diddy. I hate, and this is where we talk about the songs and the industry and the genres and the marketing. Like, it's so many people. Like, I remember people heard that Black Star might be getting a deal with Def Jam, and it was like they sellouts, and it's like you love this group, but if they get a deal, you hate them. So when Penn says that with Diddy being there, like that was for people that was in that riff, that was like sacrilege. And that's what I'm saying. Penn was been like when you see the battles putting together on that, Penn been one of those people. It's like, nah, we in the same thing. Like, how can we make this work?
The thing is,
like people are actually dying out here. You know what I'm saying?
To me, talent is talent, and hip hop is hip hop, bro. Like you had mentioned what you mentioned. You said you had mentioned Raucus and you had mentioned Bad Boy. Like, yo, I fucking had like I was always the dude. I was always entrenched in both scenes because I'm a dude that love lyricism and love rhyming and shit. But I'm also from the block, bro. I'm also from the style. Like, ain't nothing never been sweet. So I was always a part of kind of both. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it wasn't nothing. Like, if you was nice, you was nice. Like, I had fucking The Fire in Which You Burn Slow and All About the Benjamins on the same CD. Like,
there you go.
You understand what I'm saying? I fucked with all that shit. I love all of that shit. And you got to keep in mind, like, I can't hate on Diddy. That nigga put Biggie on. This is a nigga, when I was a little kid coming up in the hood, this is a nigga who I seen, who I encountered. Little Caesar's my man. Like, so we can say what the fuck they want to say about Puck. Nigga, he was responsible for Biggie. He was responsible for putting my hood on.
Right.
So fuck all that. Like,
but you was ahead. You was ahead.
Yeah.
It sounds simple now, but back then, like, did you realize like you was different? Like, did you realize you was different? Did you realize you was stopping like nonsense between people that was beefing?
I mean, I just did all I ever did was what I thought would need to be done, bro. Like, that's honestly it. So with the Hook.com shit, you know, they were real live multimedia company now and shit. We had a clothing warehouse. So if you wanted to buy your whatever hip hop clothing was popping at the time, Fat Farm or whatever the fuck was popping at the time, you know what I mean? We had a warehouse, so you would order this shit. We would send it to you straight from the spot. So we had everything. We had an online magazine, and then they got into throwing events. We was really trying to do everything. And then we were a little ambitious, I think, and it was just this much ahead of its time. Just this much. So they were trying to figure out what can we do in the scene. And my friend Mahogany Brown, I was just with her last night. Like, I keep I'm loyal. I keep the same friends. You feel me?
That's a good friend. I'm proud of her. Every time I see her, she's doing amazing things. Shout out to Mahogany.
Mahogany, one of the most influential black women in the world, bro. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she was throwing events first. Like, I was very low on the totem pole. It wasn't my idea to throw the battles, but what happened was Mo was throwing the battles, and
that was Mo's idea.
Mo was throwing the battles. It wasn't my idea to throw the battles. I give full legit credit to who get that credit.
Wow.
Like, I don't say that shit. Niggas leave me out of so much shit. That's why I give everybody all the fucking credit they deserve. Because these niggas like to revise history and not not put it like I was the battery in all these niggas' backs. You feel me?
So Mo started that, and then she brought you in.
So yeah, Mo. So I give
which
credit
makes
to everybody.
sense.
So
which
Mo
makes sense.
Right, Mo started doing the battles first. You know what I mean? But what happened was, Mo. First of all, Mo's not a rapper. She's a poet. She's a spoken word artist. She's a poet. She's been a poet for years. So she's not a rapper. So she
got books.
Like, she's not in the loop. I mean, she knew people, but I work there. I'm the fucking rapper. I'm outside. So it kind of just was natural. It was just like, yo, I got you. So I just started, you know what I mean, bringing everybody in because I knew all the talent. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of, it kind of happened organically. It wasn't a conversation really. It was like, yo, we here. I work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it going. I know everybody. Let's get it popping. So that's pretty much how it happened. I didn't even have.
What was your events called at that time?
It was just called. It was the website was hooked.com, HOOKT, hook.com. And I think the battles were called the Cipher or some shit like that. I think it was called the Cipher.
You know when I knew you was like professional when y'all was handing out hook like headbands and whatnot. Like we never had a battle where they had do-rags and like logos on the merchandise, my G.
Yeah, we was
like, oh, Penn's out of here.
We was giving niggas two-way pages for winning battles and shit. It was through the roof, bro. But when you got the money behind you, like I tell motherfuckers that's why I produce events to this day. Like that's why I don't fuck with no league exclusively. I don't fuck with King of the Dot exclusively. I don't fuck with URL exclusively. I fuck with who fuck with me. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, you give me the budget, I will produce a classic event. I've been doing it for 20 fucking years. You understand what I'm saying? So luckily, due to the resources, we were able to, you know what I mean, pull in certain people like the MC Lights and the BET executives, shit like that, because we were aligned with a company that had that pull. So it made it a bit easier. And we were even like, we were so entrenched in the community. We was like, yo, son, like, we ain't even charge motherfuckers to get in. You know what I'm saying? We didn't charge. We did events for like a year and a half, 2 years, and never charged nobody 5 cents to get in.
You knew we was always speaking in the venues anyway.
And we was paying niggas and not charging niggas to get in. And we had, you know,
that's crazy.
Who Kid was our DJ? Who Kid was our DJ? D Nice was our DJ. McBool was our DJ. Like we had fucking prominent people, and I was not even a host at first. And it's funny because that's like one of the main things I do to this day. I was cool. I was just booking shit. I was making sure that the guys were there, just running around taking care of all the behind the scenes stuff.
Wow.
In one day, and the only reason I didn't jump into battles because I worked for the company. So like I wasn't like I was above battling niggas. Right, but I work for the company, so it's a conflict of interest. Like I'm gonna get everybody to do the battle. Like, all right, let me battle all y'all. Like, so it makes sense for me to battle. You know what I'm saying?
And win.
So I'm bringing like Jen and Diabolic and all these guys. So, yeah. So
it made sense. It made sense for you to be someone who could win battles. Like you said, when you're looking for that next thing to do, I can host battles because if anybody can judge or break up or make decisions, I'm qualified now.
Right.
Was that the first Sunday joints?
No.
First Saturday joints.
We never did we Saturday at New Weekend was bragging rights.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Shout out to Yeshua.
We did Mondays at Wetlands. We did every other Monday.
Shout out to Yeshua and all that. That's where we seen Lifelong. You know what I mean? When I first met Lifelong around that same time, that was when he had just won bragging rights. You know what I mean? Shout out to Yeshua and We Be Foolish though. They definitely held it down. Do you remember the night when Steve Ray's Wars battled Supernatural?
I don't discuss that nigga, man. Fuck that nigga, bro.
My brother Penn. He don't. I did. You know what it was?
I forgot.
Nah, you can't. But you know what?
It seemed like he was caught in the moment.
We good, brother. That's perfectly fine, bro. I know you ain't mean that. Like, that's fine, brother. Like,
but you know what it is, though? You know what it is, Penn? And this is what I'm talking about, your loyalty. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you ain't even, and listen, shout out to C Rays, you know, whatever the situation is, but the fact that you ain't even, the fact that you ain't even used that as a, oh yeah, we gonna talk about him. Let me bite into his neck. You said I don't even discuss him. I respect that. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because truth of the matter is, I'll be real with you, Penn. There's a lot of suckers out there who, you know, for the most part, will sit there and use the opportunity to sit there. And it's funny, you was on a live one day, right? Real funny, real small. You was on a live one day on IG, and I jumped on, You know what I mean? Supporting my brother. I just seen you live. And it was during COVID. You was a little nice and you was asking for questions. I was like, yo, what's up with the stronghold? And then somebody said something about, said person. And you was like, yo, fam, nah, I ain't talking about him. And the energy that you keep, and that's what I mean, that you ain't never switched up. You've always been who you've been. And I salute you to the core for that. Because there's some people who switch up, you know what I mean? So, but the dope thing about it is, while you talking about all this, the tie-in is the fact that you've even hosted some Sound Minds MC battles. You know what I'm saying? We had one with at the time, Academics, All Knowing, against Mecca. You know what I'm saying? And you had hosted one of the, you know what I mean? I still got that on VHS. I still got that on VHS. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was because of that. Because you said the conflict of interest. Because we was.
You can't say VHS in 2020. You're gonna have to actually explain what a VHS is. You can't just say VHS in 2021 out here. Like we're.
Yo, let me explain. Yo, the scientifics behind the VHS tape was when you took that little black joint on the corner off. You couldn't record ever again. So people were taping. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, the new generation would never know the struggle. But a lot of the reason as to why, look at Dre right now talking about it. It was a conflict of interest because we were hosting it. And then we were like, yo, it's crazy. I got my partner who's Sound Minds battling the Plague member. It'll look crazy for us. And back then, and we're going to get into that too, man, the MC battles and the difference in it. But we was like, yo, we need somebody. And Penn jumped up. Penn being who Penn is, was like, yo, go ahead, I got it. And hosted the joint, you know what I'm saying? So, I guess for the most part, let's just jump into it now.
Right.
Penn, at the end of the day, granted, I know I've been wanting to say it a lot. A lot of MC battles now got like a whole 3-month rollout attraction. You know what I mean? Like, you know who's battling. Dudes are going to the safe box and talk about people's nieces and nephews who had gout or grandmothers who passed away, you know what I mean? And then just put it out there. But with all MC battles back in the day when we was doing the Sound Minds, EOW, shout out to EOW, you know what I mean? Stronghold was a part of some of our MC battles. Matter of fact, Jen used to come from Florida just to get into the battles, and you know what I'm saying? Can you explain?
We gave him a Walkman once.
Yeah, we did.
When he battled one time, we gave him a Walkman.
Yeah, he left over the wall.
and my wife crocheted the Walkman cover.
You know what I'm saying?
My now wife.
Can you, Penn, if you can, speak on what your opinion or your take is on the current battles to the back then battles? When we were battling, it was really, going off of whatever you was wearing. And I didn't even know who my opponent was. It was just like, yo, let me look at his sneakers for 5 seconds, look at his eyebrows, you know what I mean? So if you could, because you're such an intricate part of that, could you speak on it?
At that time, it was we come the era that I jumped out in as a kid, like that you referring to, like it was pretty much freestyle. It was freestyle, you know what I mean? So you better be quick with it, you know what I'm saying? If it's so funny how shit evolved, because you had if you spit some written, you better had performed it like you just was figuring it out, because you would get roasted if you spit some written shit. But it's funny because if you think about it in hindsight, it's like, wouldn't you want the most prepared person to give them their best? But I mean, like I said,
this messed with my mind for years, bro. I need therapy because of that predicament right there. Like,
but shit evolved. So the era that to answer the question, the era we came from, like I said, it's a totally different era now. But we came from the era where we would roam. What your man said in 93 to Infinity. I roam the strip for bones to pick. You know what I'm saying?
When I find one.
So so that's what we would do. We
shout out to A+, too.
We searching. So who is it? Who we rhyming with? Who we getting at? So we always had to stay on our toes. It was a freestyle thing, and it was spontaneous. It was all about what was going on right here and right now. You know what I mean? So that was the era that we were birthed from. But of course, it evolves. You know what I'm saying? So now it's predominantly written. With preparation, like who you battling. First of all, it's damn near treated like a sport now. You feel me? Like I'm doing. Damn, I don't know if I can speak on it yet. I'm doing an event. I'm doing an event soon.
Hosting battling in the Olympics.
Well, better rap in the Olympics. Now I'm doing an event now. Like you said, okay. Matter of fact, fuck that.
Yeah.
Even look at what we did the King of the Dot shit last year, right? Well, no, it ended this year, a few months ago. Just 3 months ago, we finished. Sank one.
The Grand Prix. The Grand Prix.
So
yeah,
think about it. Like I've probably during my exploits, I probably never got more than like at one shot for battling. I probably never got more than like $500, and if I got that, that was like, yo, yes. You know what I'm saying?
You might have got a jacket.
Right, nigga, we'd go get some food, a fucking bottle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we was doing shit for that. And then now it's like motherfuckers, we literally paid somebody $50,000, bro.
Yeah.
We paid a motherfucker $50,000 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different ball game. And I'm glad to, you know, been around for a very long part of it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't around from the beginning, but I was around for enough of it. And a lot of this shit is a lot of the innovations that are abundant now came from under this do-rag. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go, man.
And you know, for the most part too, man, the other difference is you know, before the skill level was more so on the talent that you had, you know what I mean? And being able to visually see things and go off the head. Whereas now a lot of it, and like you said, I think the dopeness of it, you know, it is definitely like a sport now, where it's just kind of like, you know, so maybe for the most part, I do respect the entertainment aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? And also the you know, what you always get in many of the verses are
that was what you would call the evolution of it, right?
Right. The evolution is
because it was a sport at first, but it was an unplanned sport. Now
a lot of this shit now ain't even a sport to me. It's just entertainment. Like
that's what it is.
Okay,
that's what it is.
I can't call the URL a sport. That shit is like, and I still watch it. So this is not like a negative place.
No, it's not knock on. Yeah,
that's the WWE, bro.
Yeah.
Niggas, they booked the same niggas that lost 100,000 times because they got the motherfuckers that they want to push. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of motherfuckers that don't get nurtured properly, but they know who's popular, so they just keep pushing the same shit. One loss.
You making me have a question. You making
hold on, let him finish. Hold on, Kyle. Let him finish.
Hold on. But one loss records mean nothing. Motherfuckers, you know, doing tournaments and getting wacky decisions. So, you know what I mean? The shit is more WWE than UFC. Well, at least from that side.
As a legend, I appreciate you saying that.
And to be clear, I'm still a grown. I'm an adult. I still watches wrestling, so I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but categorize it properly. Yes,
and that's where I'm at with it, Penn, because it's kind of like at the end of the day, right? Like you said, it's WWE, right? We know the entertainment purposes of it. We know that this dude has the belt for this amount of time. You're going to draw the dramatics, and then hopefully he loses sometime other just to draw more fans, right? So at the same time, it's just kind of like with a lot of these battles, a lot of times you hear the, you know, I got the double barrel with the extendo, blow you out the frame. This is a Nintendo. And it's just kind of like,
wait, light. I got a better one for you. I got a better one. And it's off a recent one. I'm saying I put 100 bullets in the pistol. Like,
right. You said that.
It's from a recent one. It's from the Cassidy battle. I'm sorry. I got it
loaded 1,000 times. Like, what the fuck?
Yo,
and this is what it is, though.
That's what Cassidy said. I'm not going.
It got to the point where, and you know, respect. And I'm not going to sit there and say that these dudes ain't spitters, B. A lot of dudes is nasty, B. Shout out to Cortez. You know what I mean? Cortez is a beast. Shout out to everybody, but it's just more so, you know, when you look at WWE, like you like, all right, cool. This dude, what's Rock's cousin? Roman Reigns is going to have the belt for this amount of time, and we know that no matter how hard the fight is, he ain't gonna lose that. Not to this dude. Not
like no matter what, you're gonna see twerk no matter what.
Right.
Twerk is amazing, but he like a lot of times he I don't know if he got shit on his mind or he take certain battles serious and don't take other battles serious and shit like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, you know? Um, yeah, I like, and it's ill because, you know, like it's obvious that they're gonna push who they want to push regardless. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I will
When
say it's more
you,
entertaining.
yeah, so when you that's
It's
what I'm saying.
probably more entertaining than us being out on the block. Like if you have the masses of people and they gonna choose between that, people preparing for months versus us spontaneously, it's more entertaining. Like I ain't gonna hold you.
Now,
But
now, now,
but
versus that
but
to
hold up,
what he
hold up,
does.
hold
My
up.
bad.
I got one question, bro. I got one question because I feel like it ties together because we ain't talking about this versus that. We talking about like the deeper. These are certain things that only pen. It's only certain people qualified to say. This is a real question. And I'm gonna tell you my bias. First of all, you could tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't even within that in that realm, no matter how far it gets, the still best to this day is the cats that can still manage to have some kind of rebuttal, true or false? Even in that,
I would say true. I believe the best MC the best there is no best, but I mean the best prepared MC in battle rap is someone that's able to combine both elements. You know what I'm saying? You be able to combine both elements, and I see some people now, or at a high level where they could do shit that motherfuckers couldn't do when we was running around early. Like motherfuckers, some motherfuckers now will have a fucking written and they have a fucking a freestyle rebuttal in the middle of the written round and then get back to the written. Like that takes a certain skill set. You know what I'm saying? And obviously anyone that can rebuttal is always going to be a leg up on someone that cannot adapt. You know what I'm saying?
okay, okay. So let's get that straight. Let's get that straight.
Gems. I wanna
12:30,
I wanna
straight up
also
and
add, I
down.
wanna also ask to even reflect on how you prepare a battle, you know, like compared to the WWE setting now, where to how you would prepare and pick different, you know, battlers and make sure that it's not just about entertainment.
I mean, it's literally about scouting and just trying to create the best matchup.
Mm,
And a lot of times it's just the best matchup, not what's going to be the biggest spectacle.
there we
You
go.
understand what I'm saying? Like now, like everybody got personas and slogans, and you know the shit is wild commercial. You know what I mean? Which is good in a way because it's bringing money, it's bringing
Right,
eyes.
right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not, like I said, there's negatives and positives to it. Like I'm not one of these old stuck in the mud ass niggas. Like I said, I see the positives of what's going on today. You know what I mean? Like I
What
wish.
about like what about breaking up beef? Like one aspect of it used to be if we really had a beef, that was one way to squash it, especially between people's neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Not just the people, but it was like my people want to do this and your people want to do this. So sometimes a battle was the issue. How much of that is where it's still a way to like resolve it before people get involved in something else? Is that still involved?
There's been a few. There's been a few situations where the battle helped ease like real life tension. There's been a few. There's been quite a few battles that have eased real life tensions.
Man.
Yeah, there's been a
Okay,
few. Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Because that's one thing that people always like try to from the outside looking in, they don't understand. Like that's one of the things we always did in hip hop culture. We try to
Mac,
use transmute that energy in a non before it escalated, and people don't understand that. That's a positive part of hip hop.
look at man Papa and Serious Jones. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers was warring, trying to meet motherfuckers to fight and all that shit. You feel me? All these dumbass blogs and shit. And then after the fucking battle, you know what I mean? It was like, yo, we're glad we got this off our chest. And they were at in a better place. And it wasn't the drama on site shit that it was once
Word,
purported to be. And then
word.
they battled. It was like, all right, we got it off our chest. You
That's
know
hip
what
hop
I'm saying?
too.
So because I was trying to book a fight. I was trying to book their boxing match.
There you
They're
go.
like, yo, we get
There you
money. If y'all
go.
want to fight, then let's book the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we getting to that point. There's a lot of dudes who now, you know, with what's their name, Trilla and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's now it's getting to the point where it's like, yo,
Right.
word, all right, y'all battle rapping. Let's book the fight next. You know what I'm saying? Let's see we could double the money on that.
If Triller was popping a little 2 years ago, like that would have been a Triller fight.
That's
Easily.
crazy. Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
Bosco and Gonzo just fought on Triller. and and none of them have as much out there, like as far as name wise, as Hoffa and Sirius.
Facts.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's
so
crazy.
that could have definitely been a Triller fight.
That's crazy. Pen. So it's crazy, brother. You honestly have
That could make
multiple
it more, man.
chapters. Yeah, go ahead, man. In celebration, brother. You have multiple chapters in this dope book called Poison Pen. Now we talking about the battling. We talking about Stronghold, right?
I got a legit book too. I'm glad you mentioned that. I have a book. I've seen it. Yeah,
A
yeah,
word. Hey, let's get it.
yeah.
Let's get. Let's get. I see. I ain't know my brother was out here with the scriptures.
He
I do
need a
everything.
book.
I do everything.
Volume 1, you heard me? Oh wow.
Crazy.
Oh,
For
wow.
What's the name of the book, Pen?
Look, I got 200 pages right here, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What's the
Wait,
name
wait,
of that,
wait.
brother?
I don't know yet, man.
You okay? It's in
Oh,
the
that's an
blueprint.
exclusive.
This is exclusive.
Yo, my
Exclusive.
brother just gave us an
You
exclusive.
see that?
Yo, when
It's
you
worthy
drop that,
pages.
please come to our podcast when you drop that, bro. Please,
Yeah.
please,
Nah, that's fire.
please let us
That's fire,
promote
brother.
that.
You
Please
you
let us
need a
drop
book.
that
You
on
the
here.
Just
people need to be able to read
send us a
your
copy
scriptures.
early
Man.
so we can even have questions within the book.
Facts.
Like we'll
Right.
go
When
deep.
Wordsworth, Wordsworth put out his book, he came on the podcast. He was like, I'm dropping next month. His joint went to the top of Amazon charts. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Words.
Shout out
You know
to
what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Word.
And Pearl
Yeah,
Gates.
it's just yo.
Actually,
So
the dude
yeah,
that
go ahead. My fault, bro.
helped words with that book, that's the same dude I'm doing this with.
Let's
Oh, that's
go.
dope. That's dope. Look at that, B. The connection. The bridge is real. You know what I'm saying? It's
Let's
crazy.
go.
So going into another chapter of what Penn is or who Penn is. Rebel Arms, B. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta shout y'all out just based off of the fact that yeah, it's hip hop, but as hip hop is the essence of what hip hop is, Rebel Arms is the epitome of that because of the movement that y'all have behind Rebel Arms. It's not just like, yo, we out here spitting rhymes. There's a lot of work, especially Tech be out there feeding the homeless, doing all type of things. Y'all be out of state doing all type of greatness, man. Could y'all speak on that? Or could you speak on that real quick with what y'all doing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, glad that you mentioned that because like we don't advertise. We do it like I said. We do what's needed. We don't do it for. I hate when I see these like social media niggas or these personalities. They going out like throwing hundreds to people, acting like they benevolent and shit. I fucking detest that shit, yo. The shit's not from a genuine fucking place. Keep your fucking money, you bozo ass nigga. Suck my dick, man. Like, I'm not a fucking stripper. Don't throw no fucking money at me, nigga.
Hold
You
on,
ain't
Pen. Hold
helping me,
on.
nigga.
My
You doing
fault,
this
Pen.
shit for
My
life,
fault.
nigga. Like,
My fault. And I'm saying I second that 1,000. So if you feel a certain way about what Penn's saying, feel the same way about me too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
However, handle. You know what I mean? Thank you
yeah.
for saying that, brother.
Which is why I don't even post half the shit we do because it's coming from a real fucking place. So I'm glad that you mentioned. The funny shit, I probably wouldn't even mention it if you ain't mention it. That's funny because we do a lot. We shout out to Rebel Arms, my brother Motor Technique. We do to this day. We have a charitable organization called Rebel Army Runs,
Wow.
and we do food drives in multiple neighborhoods and around the country. I do with my brother Sim. We do Crown Heights. We do Albany Projects at Crown Heights. We up in Dykeman, so you know we have a set schedule and we go out there. We get all our supplies from the donations of the people. You know, go pick up everything from nutriment and pasta to feminine products and diapers. And because you know since the pandemic, a lot of people have been fucked up, myself included. I'm not excluded from that, but I know that through my reach, I can help some people with my brother, Immortal Technique, and the rest of the arms. You know, my man Bobby, my girl Jean, Chino XL, everybody else. So it's like we all fucked up. But my thing is, if we all can help each other, then maybe we could all be a little less fucked up.
Yep.
I just look at it, it's simple, man. It ain't fucking rocket science. Nobody. I don't do. We don't. I would say we because it ain't I. We don't do it for no clout. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't give a fuck about that. Like we've done things when I mean we've done so many charitable things. I can't even list the whole thing, you know. When the earthquakes happen in Mexico City, we put in work for Mexico City. You know what I'm saying? We went to Mexico and did border drops. Like, I'm in the fucking desert. It's 130 degrees. My fat ass is not the healthiest nigga. I'm out there doing border drops where the migrants fucking try to come into the country, man. Niggas is dying out there. You feel me? Like, we do shit like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, y'all heard that? Did y'all hear that?
And the thing is, a lot of people, and I'm not, listen, you give back how you give back. So I'm not saying how you should do it. But most artists that are giving back, they may cut a check, send a tweet. Respect for that, because you didn't have to do that. But nah, nigga, I'm outside, bro. I'm in the desert. You understand what I'm saying? Literally. You feel me? I'm in Albany Projects. I'm not from Albany Projects, bro. And you know the gang shit out here is real. I mean, I got love though, so I'm not saying I got issues, but I'm just saying I'm not from there though. But we're Albany Projects. I'm in Dykeman. I ain't Dominican from Uptown, baby. Like,
but you talk, talk.
But we still like, it don't matter. Whoever needs it, we got it. We're gonna do what we can in our power.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is why I brought it up, because I know you, Pen, and I know you want it. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is what I mean when I say hip hop is such a powerful force. You know what I mean? And truth of the matter, you just mentioned yourself, Tech, your peoples, and Chino XL. Chino XL was out back in the day spitting crazy, one of the illest MCs. And fam is not out there celebrating, like, you know what I mean? Not doing nothing for social media to let it be known, like, yo, look at what I'm doing on this corner. Y'all dudes are doing it without the hype and the glory of it. And then we got some clowns who will sit there and make a video, and whoever they feel, whatever it is, get in your feelings. Got some clowns making videos about giving dollars to people who won't, like, nobody want to see you doing that, because what you're doing is you exploiting those people's struggle. And if they're acting, then that's even worse than exploiting, because now you're putting people to play the positions of people who are really struggling and giving out money to show yourself off in a certain way, man. And it's so disgusting. That's why I had to bring it up, because I think, honestly speaking, we could talk about Penn, Stronghold Penn. We could talk about Team Hami Penn. We could talk about, you know, all the battle Penn, but we also need to respect Penn for the help, the going out there to Mexico. You ain't even got to be out there. You don't know nobody out there in Mexico, but you out there though. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, brother.
Your son. The day my nigga Ruck died, the day my nigga Sean Praise died, I was flying to Ferguson, bro. I was on the front line risking my fucking ass, bro. They fucking tear gassing us like we wasn't even citizens of this fucking country, bro. Mm-hmm. Front line. While other niggas that was out there was in the fucking hotel calling me, asking, yo, what's going on out there? I'm not gonna mention who them niggas is. You know what I'm saying? Outside for real, bro. Like, yo, wherever you see we there, bro. Like, yo, 9/11 happened. We was young. You know where I was at September 12th? I was in fucking Ground Zero, nigga. Woo. You understand? And they made us leave because the other building collapsed. And they made us get the fuck out. Like, y'all gotta go. I got respiratory issues, but people needed help.
Yo.
You feel me?
Hold up. That's real. As an MC and somebody that's out there, could you don't have to speak on it if you don't want to. But when I found out, that meant something to me, because a lot of people, when they say things and they privilege, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got people that's having respiratory issues, not even complaining. If you want to, could you just speak on that, like your respiratory? Because even as an MC, when I found out that, I'm like, damn, he's spitting live and out in the street and on stage. Do you want to touch on that a little bit? Like how long you had respiratory issues and everything? Rest in peace to my brother Philly. Rest in peace. Another person you connected with, we just had Joe Villa on. a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean? And there was a point where rest in peace to my brother JSA that passed away super early. You know what I mean? Big Pun came to the block. JSA came to the block. JSA passed before he was even known. And now I'm like, damn, JSA had this. Philly had this. You know what I mean? I think Pharaoh Months had something, and then I found out you had it. I'm like, what?
Spread the God too. Rest in peace, Spread the God.
Rest in peace, Spread the God. Like, what was that like being an MC and navigating like with the respiratory issues? Could you speak on that for a second?
Yo, I don't even have an answer. You do what your passion is. You make it happen however you make it happen.
Do you ever feel like you was sick or like under the weather, and then when you get in a zone, everything just clears up for you?
Well,
is that real?
Asthma, it don't work like that because asthma you can't fucking breathe. So I can't just think that I can breathe and be able to breathe. But at the same time, like, with other things that's beyond like breathing, like, but I've had it under control my whole life. I know a lot of exercises, breathing exercises. Like, this is something that I've dealt with my whole life, so it's not something that. So to answer the question, I don't know what it's like to not have that, so I just do it. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Not like I can't put it any simpler than that. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll even back you up and say shout out to you for going, to the chiropractor on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And getting your whole shit snapped out in place. It sounds like it gets snapped out of place, but that shit got snapped in place. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? Getting your knee fixed. You feel me?
Doctor views on YouTube. We lit out here, boy. My doctor didn't get views, nigga. Shout out to my man Bo Hightower, man. That's my dude, bro. That's my, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yo, that was great.
New Mexico and shit, man. We have fun out there, man. Shout out to
my brother Penn,
the stars. I guess I was immortalized and shit. You know what I
mean? I'm talking about like 100,000 plus on YouTube just for getting his back.
Getting my back cracked and shit.
No, man, this is the presence he presents. You know what I'm saying, my brother, B. Yeah, so we definitely got to get into we're going to get into a couple of these things, man. We're going to get into a visual real quick, you know what I'm saying? And then we also going to play a track, man. Let's do the visual first and then get into the track, talk about that also after that.
Yo, hold up. I want to say thank you.
Huh?
You going to play the Joe Jack?
Yeah, we're going to play that after we got to play the Joe Jack.
Yo, Penn, I just want to say real quick at this intermission, thank you for being here and being so generous with your time. You know what I mean? And also, rest in peace to Sean P, because that's how he was too. If we was out doing a live show, wherever outside of New York, it was like when the police was shut down, when it was time to stop. It's certain cats, it's just like they time is $1 million an hour, and I just want to point that out for people. Like, you see, Penn got more accolades than anybody out here that you could name. Anybody. If you don't know, he knows somebody that knows somebody. You know what I mean? So. This is why we salute a brother like Penn. This is why we've been waiting for this season 5, episode 1 since the beginning. We've been waiting to build with my brother because he's a genuine example of when companies have $1 million, you make $1 million. You know what I mean? And you feed your people. But you don't charge $1 million to stop messing with the people you did from day one. You know what I mean? And I just want to salute you for that, brother. Like, a lot of people don't recognize that and appreciate that. That's what I think creates someone like you, creates longevity and sustainability. It's certain things that people don't talk about. So thank you, bro, for being here.
Bro, you already know.
That's a perfect introduction to the song right now. Perfect.
Boy, I promote no weak rappers, then fish. Yeah. I bust my gun up from Brooklyn. I let my head grow and hung with the hoodlums. Yeah. Home of the mass shootings. The win one scrap, start thinking you bass rootin', nigga. Yo, shit. From my office to the coffin, suicide bomber blew up, stepped through him and kept walking, nigga. I been in my bag, smoke my cig in my sag. Stuff niggas doing Ramadan, I give it a fast, nigga. I was gutsy at that function. I can't stand it doing nothing. Them niggas try to jump us, fuck it. Sometimes reaction is overreaction. We kill or we overkill. The homies sad east side. The sky full of carcinogens. At least he gon' die with feet fly like Icarus. Liquor did so much damage up in my liver sick. Carnivorous, militant dinners and other tenements. Yeah, you only get one shot. Woke up with a dot in New Zealand, rocking one side. Bars, booze, and bongs. Guess I'm a one stop. I need at least an elbow on pop with the blood clot. Yeah. Find me where the homies at. Slumped over in the corner, doubled over with a piney at. Run up on me with your phone now, cloud chasing. I run down on you with your chrome out. Stop playing.
Bye in a rapper boy head. Why not promote no weak rappers them for dead? Boom bye in a rapper boy head. Why not promote no weak rappers them for dead? Boom bye in a rapper boy head. Boom bye in a rapper boy head. Listen, boom bye in a rapper boy head. Why not promote no weak rappers them for dead? I try to talk to the man them still enough. Them say when you can't hear you have to feel, you don't know. You see? Yo, Poison Pen, Nazi Dreads. Yo, DJ Cancer. Yo, we're done with them rude boys. Done with them blood.
Fire joint, man. That right there was with Napping Dreads. Go
that
check that video
fly
out.
on my feet like Icarus.
Yeah.
That was something fly on my
Skies are
feet
filled
like
with carcinogens. Come on, man. Come on. You on mute, Pep. There you go.
Best side full of carcinogens. At least you gonna die with feet fly like Icarus.
Hey,
Liquor did
get
so
'em.
much damage. I bet my liver sick, carnivorous, militant, dinners into the tenements. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
This is crazy.
And the vibe of it was so ill, so smooth, but dirty at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, need that. We need that. Man. That's, you know what I'm saying? So, Pen, we are gonna play this track, man. And all right, let's play the track, and then we get Let's play the track.
Get into it a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't just jump into it because this is a new track, right?
Joe Jack joint.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because they could go check out the other joint, which is Boom Bye Bye on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's on Tidal, all that. It's on all the streaming platforms and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
shout out to the time that Penn said, "I'm from nigga Brooklyn, not from hipster Brooklyn."
You see,
I told you your bars.
Yo, so before we go into the track, man, we lost a lot of people, B.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, for the most part, man, you, PH, Sean P, you know what I'm saying, and you shouting out Vice Versus. And for everybody, and this is not a plug, man, it's just EO Dub is fan, man. So anybody who's on here at 9 o'clock, EOW got their joint on YouTube. Go check that out, man.
After we done here, checking.
Right, after, yeah.
After we done here, checking with I'm gonna go over there to the family. I'm gonna go over there. But after we done. Right,
you gotta hold on. It's like all connected. I gotta thank you, brother, for always putting on for the real ones that pass. You know what I'm saying? And Vice Versus is definitely one of those dudes, man.
Yeah, man, that's my brother, man. I miss him, bro. I miss him a lot. Matter of fact, on the Motion Ave sign, I got a Vice Versus sticker on there. That's funny. So he always, you know what I'm saying? But that's my brother, man. You know, I ain't gonna get all fucking sentimental shit. I love my nigga, miss my nigga, yo. It's been a year. You know what I mean? But the song, you know, I used to call that nigga Joe Jack. That was like an inside joke because he used to like in the studio, like he had this idea factory. That was his team, him and my man Ox and a bunch of other people. So they used to, like Vice is like a loving dude, but Vice was like straight up like a fucking Gestapo in the studio. Do this, do that. And but everything would come out proper because he was on his shit. He was just super
about his business.
So me being the jerk that I am, I would always call him out. So I'm like, damn nigga, you Joe Jackson ass nigga. Fuck Joe Jackson. And the funny shit is, the first time I said this shit, he was kind of tight. But I was like, yo, son, think about it. I'm like, look. I said, look at what the fuck Joe Jackson helped produce. Look at what came from his being Joe Jack.
And
Like,
now we know you started out doing routines.
right. So look at word. So look at EO Dub. Like that's some shit that he helped create. Look at the MC challenge. So it's like you Joe Jack, nigga. So he learned to embrace this shit. Like this afterwards. Anytime he would get extra belligerent, I'm like, chill, Joe Jack. So that was just something I used to call him. So I don't do like a lot of sad shit. I pay tribute to my niggas. How I pay tribute to my niggas. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like crying no more. You feel me? So I just
love it.
So I just did the joint, Joe Jack. He made repping my G, and I also paid a little homage to the big bro Doom as well in the joint. So you know what I mean? RP Vice. You know what I'm saying? RP Doom Malay. You feel me? So
yeah, hell yeah. Let's get into the track, B. Let's get into this.
Nigga. Yeah. EO Dub every Sunday where I worship. Archbishop of the religion is vice versa. Streets is out here screaming, said I feel it in my cervix. Hami, yo, Punani, know my body, yo, I murder. Bed-Stuy is you stupid, you know better. Caught niggas out by the Utah for low sweaters. I was a go-getter, partners for show reckless. Son was a large, and I rock like 4 X's. Gave it to bro, caught face, state to state in the provost. Light skin, fat ass, and I play with a yo, yeah. The way you hang slang is nothing. Turnbull ACs, yo, my gang bang is bussin'. How I used to set it when I jump niggas, I'm from the stop, man. I bump niggas, yeah. EO Dub every Sunday where I worship. Archbishop of the religion is vice versa. Streets is out here screaming, said I feel it in my service. I'm a yo Punani, know my body, yo, I murder. Yeah. I only play the games that I win at. Mamacita's favorite syntax is where that nigga pin at. Matter of fact, he and BK, yeah. Sitting and spinning, been in the block these days. Drunk and stupid is my habitat killer. Bring some real spirits, not that battle rap liquor. Nah, I got an obsession with depression. Niggas dead, I'm straight to dashing. I have yet to get the lesson. It's rowdy, I suppose, the homie show. Stuffed a few fans, yo, swave no karate, though. Yeah, I said I'm sliding with my brothers. The shots disgusting, apple cider with the mother. With the villain in my steppers up in Coachella off them psychedelics, trying to hit the foe and better. Yeah, I play the war like a doughy. Yeah, you want a war, nigga, show me. Overload, overthrow, all the bros overreact. Crunchy black DJ Vlad, put my G's where your V's at, nigga. Fragile in the bodega, whatever be strapped. Up every Sunday where I worship. Archbishop of the religion is vice versa. Streets is out here screaming, said I feel it in my service. I'm a yo Punani, know my body, yo, I murder. Bed-Stuy is you stupid, you know better. Might shoot the Uber if you pull up with no ketchup. I'm a for show legend, I don't get no credit. Spend an hour with the guard, you walk home bow-legged.
Fire, B.
Exclusive. Let's go.
Dopeness, man.
Now I gotta say why that sound like that's Wu-Tang or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you sound like you a Wu-Tang. Oh,
I mean, I grew up off that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to sound like me. But I mean, that's what. Yeah, I mean, I take that. I take that in a good way though. I take that as a compliment.
You already know.
Take that as a compliment.
Oh man,
and that also so Rob me and Younger because like for him a lot of us is all gonna sound from that time where with us we be like this is and this is different. You know what I mean? And that's probably how.
Listen to that bar work. That bar work different.
Yeah. hey, they said iconic bar work right there. Iconic bars right there. Hold up. We got them in the chat. They said that's Vice. Crazy, man.
I saw Vice on the wall with the halo just nodding his head to that. You know, he's honored, you know.
Yeah, I played it for him. He know the words.
There you go. And I think only right, man.
You already
only
know.
Right, Pen. Listen, brother, not because you on here, B. I ain't getting paid. You ain't paying me a dime right now to say anything. I got so much love for you, B, and I got so much love for who you always been. You know what I mean? And I think, honestly speaking, you paying homage like that is the best way possible. You know what I'm saying? Because we are, as long as the real keep getting recognized, even if they not here, you know what I mean, in the skin, it's all about that legacy that we leave behind. You know what I mean? So I think you did that justice. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I heard it in that in one of the EO dubs, I think it was on a Sunday. Matter of fact, right after this, and they played it, I was like, damn, look at Pen B. Like it, you know what I mean? And Vice deserved that. You know what I mean? Vice deserved all the roses possible. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you for doing that. Shout out to EO Dub. Shout out to Vice Versus for being Vice Versus. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we about to close up. We do have a couple of things in order, but any other questions, my brothers?
I got one last question. It basically ties everything together. You reminded me one time Sway was battling somebody that was talking about their fundraisers and their righteousness, and I just thought Sway killed it so beautifully, but it was basically because of how you said it tonight. Like his whole angle was basically like, it's mad people doing shit like that, my G. But you get up here and talk about it all the time. You know what I mean? Yes, and this is the thing, because I'm going off of something you said that doesn't get said a lot. It's not a diss to anybody doing it. It takes a whole movement. It takes everybody doing different things. The problem is when you do your protest, because you never did a protest before, or you never went and spoke on behalf of a child who's about to get a criminal record for the first time over some nonsense. When you've never done these things tremendous times, and then you do it one time, and now you think you're gonna like talk down to everybody. That's really the issue. Like, just understand that when you've done things, it's probably other people that done the things too. You know what I mean?
With that being said, I will shout out one person who is not. We're not even close friends like that at all. But like I said, I'm about giving people their credit. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And as far as what we do, touching on the charitable things that we do, there's one person that's above and beyond, and shout to Trade the Truth. You know what I'm saying? Trade the Truth, Leap Gang, like the shit that he's been doing for Texas is monumental, and that's what we're going to stick with it too. And that goes back to like I said, some people you can send a PayPal or send a tweet. Like, nah, son, we went to the warehouse, packed up the truck, like got the supplies ourselves, went to the warehouse that he had, packed up the trucks, and then we went into the wards ourselves. It was like, you know what I mean? I'm not from Houston. I'm not from Texas. I'm not from there. But motherfuckers needed help. And so I'm gonna shout out Trade the Truth. Like a lot of people, I'm gonna give him his credit. And actually, a name that y'all probably won't even think of, Trinidad James. Shout to the bro.
Wow.
He was out there driving U-Hauls with us. He's driving U-Hauls like a fucking like a fucking Dale Earnhardt and shit.
Great word.
So big shout to Trinidad James as well, man. You gotta give credit to people that actually
Yes, sir.
See, thank you for that, because that's a perfect example of people who's the whole industry marketing is the opposite of that. But behind the scene, it just lets you know when you get in your protest or you give your one fundraiser or your two fundraisers, understand there's people who just do this religiously so many times they can't even remember one because it's a way of life. And that's all it is. It's not a diss to anybody's fundraiser. I just, I'm a nerd. I gotta be specific. It's not a diss to anybody. It's just saying don't get on your high horse and start dissing other people. Because if you was really doing it that much, you wouldn't be concerned with pointing the finger down, because that's not the whole heart of helping people in the first place. But my last question to you is this. It goes on for all that in the beginning, right? You know me, Mr. Full Circle. Being that you the only one that could collaborate and get people to work from King of the Dot to Grind Time to URL, being that you the one that could get Diddy to be working with the underground, being that you could do all these things and see behind the scene, right? My question to you is this, brother. How important is it to tell the history and give information? Because I was down south with some of the veterans of, like, the marches and the civil rights movement back then. The elders is, a lot is passing away, or there's only a few left now. You know what I mean? And they was talking about being in police raids with the hoses and the dogs and all that, right? And it was like on one hand to be there and to be like a son and a grandson, you know what I mean, that position. It's amazing to hear these stories and learn how the movement continues, right? And shout out to Lifelong. I know his family was involved in that as well. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, it struck me that I wouldn't know this if I wasn't talking to them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't know that, and that bothered me. Like, whenever you talk to them, they like, I'm not really into the fame, I'm not into the press. What's the balance? And I don't know anybody more qualified to answer this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to like deliberate the question to make sure, like, what's the balance? Because neither one is good. But I'm scared that if people like you don't talk about some of the history, then somebody else is gonna rewrite it the wrong way. But if you always talking about it, you know what I mean, then you lose track of actually doing it because you can never really explain it anyway. You understand what I'm saying?
I think it's very important. And like I spend a lot of time, like, I don't be tripping off a lot of shit. You feel me? Like, you know, especially with like through the battle rap shit, like I've been asked to speak on mad shit and like, you know what I mean? I'm not with the what Ruck used to call it. I'm not with the Ray Kiki Bobo. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to stay how I stay, do what I do, and keep it pushing. But at the same time, I do realize a lot of the stories aren't really being told, and there's a whole lot of revisionist history out there. You know what I'm saying? So as long as there's a platform that we can build on, I'll speak on whatever. Because I'm far from perfect. We all works in progress until we fucking dead. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know that.
Yo, shout out to my brother Majesty. I don't know why he said something like that once. Rest in peace, Majesty.
Yeah, man. Love you, Maz. Miss you, bro. But you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, like, the stories must be told, man. There's too much revisionist history out there. You know what I'm saying? And if motherfuckers don't speak up on certain things, the motherfuckers will just start believing the King James version. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, you know what though?
You know that's a bomb drop right there. You know that's a bomb drop and a
hell yeah.
Ding. Like, man,
Let's for the most part, let's call it what it is. There's a difference between the front line and the front line. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people sitting on that front line. You know what I mean? And there's very few who are sitting on the front line, really doing the front line work.
The track we bring Penn in on the Sound Minds compilation is gonna be called Front and Line. If you don't let us use that bar, did you hear what he? Front and Line.
I got a hook already. You know I'm on the hook. Hey. I got a hook already.
Yo, so with that being said, Penn, everybody we bring up here, MCs, spitters, we give them this opportunity by choice if you want.
And we ask everybody. When you hear this sound,
what we do is we ask every MC to spit their favorite 16 that they ever wrote. It don't have to be the best. Right? It don't have to be just their favorite.
I've been running with you. I honestly don't have a favorite. I'll just, for the sake of spitting, because we do what we do, I'm gonna spit something.
Let's go, brother.
But I really, because every time I write something, I want it to be better than the last shit I wrote. So, you know what I'm saying? Technically, the last rhyme I wrote was always gonna be my favorite rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So,
love that, brother. So yeah, any spitting you can give right now, that'll be much appreciated.
All right, let me see. I'm the nicest nigga off Hennessy in the industry. Hit the scene, came back a different me, my nigga. I said I'm meta Brooklyn. Now I'm extra Brooklyn. These niggas food, I run down on them with the pressure cookers. I'm a ride to there's nothing else to claim. I'm a sign to there's nothing in my veins. Hide me. With my thotties and my side piece and my Akis. And my timepiece Abu Dhabi's in the party. Welcome to the Bullet Club, Shinsuke and AJ. Adderall, shrooms, moon rocking, some space cakes. Yeah. I lost some rap friends up on Black Twitter. Cause I don't net bang and twit at niggas. I really get at niggas. I said, I'm out here. Look what you did. Robin Harris, I roam the hood looking for kid. 92 ski healthy, getting right up in summer school. LP, Killer Mike, yo, run them jewels, yeah. I'm from the Kachi Dinkers Giuliani. Yeah, a lot of bodies, Tawana Brawleys. Cameras or not, they still gripping. Between the bushes like Bill Clinton, they still in it. Yeah, not one fuck given. Sleep when the sun's up, children. That's a fact. Yeah, yo, I can run up and get him. And fuck sun up with him, that's an extra bag. This is hip hop. Lit off my 10th shot. Get double cuffed every time a nigga get not. Yeah, because my wingspan enormous. I snuffed 12 before I could repeat that performance. Yeah, all these flaws made me flawless. And all these laws made me lawless. Nigga, all this loot from the tour made me gorgeous. I squandered a small fortune. Really. My average Kachi Dinkers Giuliani. Underground king. I'm thinking Tutankhamun, nigga. Your favorite MC ain't got the beans in his maracas to get it shaking with me, boy. I say this Kachi Dinkers Giuliani, watch ringing jewelry on me, shots ringing through the lobby, I'm seeing through his body. Shami, nigga.
Yeah. Sound mind.
Body bagging verses, huh? Body bagging verses like his light work, my brother.
And another one, when we hear those type of bars, we gotta give a
double salute. God MCs, Kings in the Physical, my brother. Yo, I don't know if there's any other questions, man, but
what
we
can
just
you
want
ask after that?
We could, whatever, the shop, we got a few more minutes.
I got a question for you. How you feeling? Like, what's on your mind, really? Like, I know, let me do you a favor, because people be asking you all kinds of dumb. Like, one thing we do, we are artists talking to artists. So how you feeling, my G? Like, what's going on in the world?
Get it off your chest.
It's a pandemic. It's hip hop. Like, what's on your mind, bro?
In the world.
Talk to me. Talk to Rock. We your brothers. Like, what is actually on your mind, bro?
Bro, a lot, bro. I mean, look what's going on in the world, man. It's different. It's kind of, like we on the last page of that book, my nigga. Like, what the fuck you think, man?
Oh, we on the last page of that book. Let's go. Hey, it's being written right now.
It's wild to be in the midst of it, bro. It's a weird time, bro. I'm glad I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad we got the opportunity to build. That's all I can say, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Are you into taking your platform digital instead of now, in arenas and events? Are you looking into that realm?
What do you mean?
You mean like the virtual reality we was talking about?
No, not virtual reality. Even just straight up, only like how he did tickets for the last event. To only view on YouTube. Like, is that something that you see yourself? That's something like a new expansion that COVID actually brought upon, that you can actually now take advantage of, like, even not bringing people into a venue. Now you can straight sell out tickets for an online event and battle rap. Like, is that your expansion, or is that your, like, are you feeling from that? You know what I mean? What is that about?
It's all adjusted. That's it. Okay. That's all, yo. Ain't nothing gonna be what it was 5 years ago. It ain't gonna be what it's now 5 years from now. It's all about adjusting, bro. Bruce Lee said, "Be like water, bro." You know what I'm saying? It's all about adjusting. So there's pros and cons. You feel me? Like to be fair, events are a lot smoother now, because you ain't got to worry about a million motherfuckers and shit like that. So the events a lot smoother. It's like now instead of having hundreds of people or 1,000+ people there, now I got an event. All I got is the people that need to be there. It's like,
100,
50, 60 people, and we can broadcast the shit to the world and maximize it from there. So, I mean, that's cool. The event's a lot smoother and more convenient in that aspect. But, like I said, what I've been saying the whole conversation, I'm outside. I still prefer,
you're going to miss something from that.
Sans the fucking pandemic shit, I like people. I want to do an event with fucking 5,000 people. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's what we love. That's what we love. Like not being able to jump in
With
the
the
crowd
people.
is
Yo,
like
he said, hold up. With the people. Like,
we feed off of human. We feed off of people's interact. We feed
energy.
off of people's
Yeah,
responses. Like,
yeah,
we're humans still, bro. Like,
exactly.
you know, I'm glad we can do this shit
Yo,
on
do you
Zoom and all
remember
that shit. But
Technique, brother?
I still want to physically be in the motherfucker's presence. You know what I'm saying?
Do
yep.
you remember at Wetlands when Technique would be in the front row and be like, off with his fucking head? Do you remember shit like that?
Okay.
Remember that video, bro?
Wait. I got one better for you. Because speaking of just
It
having to
was
be
like an
in the middle of
inquisition.
people, of being with people, you wouldn't be able to get a 15-minute, to be exact, 14-minute video on our brother Poison's pen reactions during the battle rap on YouTube with millions of views right now. They literally got a compilation of your
Yo,
reactions
you
to
stupid,
niggas' bars.
Rob.
That's
Listen,
the power of being in the
listen.
presence
I
of
go to the
pen,
doctor.
man.
I go to the doctor. I get views. I laugh. I get views, man.
Yeah. You won't get that, but you don't get that online. You can't get that. Right now he got to figure out virtually how can I present that virtually. He got to create that, but naturally you get in the realm in that area with him. This is what you get from Poison Pen. You got a 14-minute compilation on YouTube. I don't know who edited that for you, but that's called
My man
fans, right?
Minnesota Luke did that.
Let's
Minnesota Luke is now famous for his interesting judging choices last week at the URL shit. But yeah, that's my lover's that's my man though. He did that video. Like, and he did that on his own volition. Like, I had no idea he was even doing that video. That's just something that he felt like doing, and it just got love. It was crazy.
Look at that. It was crazy. You know, I sat there, I watched the whole thing. Like, wow.
Yo, what is it that like you see how I be going on about Rob, like how he's younger than me, and then it's another generation of cats young. Like shout out to Jaden, shout out to Protege, shout out to Prince Eli. You know what I mean? What is it that when you see a younger cat coming up in hip hop makes you proud? That makes you be like, you know, when we're gone, it's still gonna be because like you said, it's not just about bars. You know what I mean? It's something that you've been doing. It's like connecting people. I don't know what you call it, but I do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Rise now doing that, connecting the community. Light be going in the, like, I don't want to get in Light's business, but he does things outside just the music, you know what I mean? And works with people that's in conflicts and bringing the music together. Like, what is that thing that we need to tell young people coming up in hip hop that like music gets the attention, but then you're supposed to do this, and when you see them doing that, it makes you feel like we good, like the coach is still alive.
I mean, yo, stay true to yourself, man. Like, and try to find a different voice. Try not to be like everyone else. That's it. That's simple logic, man. Simple logic. Try not to be like anyone else. Because if you can get 1,000 of the same motherfucker, then what makes you special? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
That's
one of the
actually a
reasons.
principle of hip hop too.
Like I
That's a
said
principle of
earlier,
hip hop.
yeah, I was talking about the drill shit. You said you have, and I said, yeah, I rhymed over some drill shit before, but I'm like, but that's like, I did it just because I rhyme. You feel me? But like, I do like, I have my voice that I've developed. You know what I mean? From my start, from my first foray out here. So I've already developed what I sound like, my sound, my voice, my delivery, my cadence, my whatever. You know what I'm saying? I have no desire to rap like nobody else. I have no desire to sound like none of these niggas. I can still appreciate this shit. I love this shit. And I do it to show that, yeah, I rhyme. I can do whatever the fuck is needed. I can do it. But, you know what I'm saying? Be you, man. Like, stop looking at all these niggas and trying to be exactly like everybody else. That shit wacky, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's nothing wrong with being influenced by people. I'm influenced by a lot of people. You understand what I'm saying? But Like I said, I listen. I just named you about 20 of them motherfuckers earlier. I listen to this shit every day. But you hear how I rhyme? I don't rhyme like that.
Right.
Fuck, I look like first of all, I'm a grown man. Like I set the trends. I don't follow what no little nigga doing. The fuck is you talking about? You understand what I'm saying? But I can learn from him. I can learn from a nigga though. But I'm not gonna. Why would I emulate somebody the age of my little brother? What was somebody the age of my little brother doing? My little brother would be saying, "Yo, what the fuck is Pin doing? So I can do it. So I can be like him."
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? But I can still learn. I can still learn the maneuver. Like okay, because at the same time, MCing is still a skill, and you got to learn. Like okay, that delivery that I was using in 2002 is not gonna suffice in 2021. So it would regardless of what your style of MCing is, it would behoove you to listen to what these motherfuckers is doing out here so you can at least stay in step. So you don't sound like a fucking artifact, nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
there's a difference between they would say emulating or completely biting somebody's style or being or then being inspired by them. You know what I'm saying? Like inspiration is different from completely perpetrating. You know what I mean? That's the word that I wanted to bring up because that's a word that was actually used in the early 80s of hip hop when they used to be on the block and say, "Oh, you a perpetrator. You can't perpetrate." Now we don't even use perpetrate no more. Like
they said,
it go to biting.
You perpetrating the fraud.
Yeah, you fraud. You know what I'm saying? Like
you're faking the funk.
You faking it. All those words not even used no more. I grew up on biting. You biting. Oh no, you biting. You biting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Whack MCs.
So like I think that lesson, that wisdom that you just dropped right there, you know what I mean? That is a gem that I actually dropped in my hip hop classes for the youth. You know what I'm saying? But we call it perpetrating because I be giving them the principles of hip hop and the history of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So you just dropped it today, like yo.
Listen, I spoke on hip hop at Harvard, bro.
Yeah. Hey, in Harvard, you know I'm in Harvard, so hey.
Dr. Payne. Dr. Payne.
Go.
I was hungover with a bottle in my pocket.
At Harvard?
Like, hey, you know what? That means we felt you even more.
I do got two questions.
Oh no, right. You know what Roger said, right?
Yeah.
He said Harvard by G.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He said Harvard.
Yeah, I thought he
said Harvard. He's talking Harvard.
I thought he said Harvard. My bad.
Ken, real quick question, man. And it's funny that we doing for the most part. The first question I have is on your list of top MCs. Who's your top one, list of one? And then the second question is, why did you choose the name Poison Pen?
He knows too many MCs.
Yeah, there's no way I can tell you one, son. Like really, like realistically, there is absolutely no way I can be like, this is my one and only. Like, I've been around too long. I listen to too much, and so I keep my palate's different. So I can't be like, because there's not one person out there that has a spotless record for me that everything they've ever done was that shit. Yep. Like, I don't care who you mention. If I mention somebody that I say is my favorite, I can name 5 whack songs that I don't like from them niggas or whatever. So there's not one spotless motherfucker out there.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. You feel me? So it's different, man. Like, there's influences for rhyming and just what I listen to the most. Like, I can tell you artists that I listen to a lot. I can tell you motherfuckers that make me want to write. You know what I'm saying?
Clarification.
Yeah.
Not anybody now. Not anybody now. I'm talking about who did you hear that made your pen just like, for me, it's Rakim. Always gonna be Rakim. You know what I mean?
That made me want to.
So you talking about when you first heard?
Okay. I can tell you what made me want to go hard. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you what made me like, yeah, I don't really have an answer to that because I came up different. Like, my pops had a studio in the crib And I had encountered a lot of legends from a young age. Like I'm talking 80s niggas that I didn't even know their records when they had came out. You know what I'm saying? Like Cutmaster DC and all of them. Those are my pop's friends and shit like that. You know you know what I mean? So my shit is different. But like when all I know is when Smooth came out, you know what I'm saying? Like I was already young, you know, school kid doing what I do and all that. Peace, what up, baby? You know what I'm saying? And so I was already, because I was already fucking with, you know, with the bros, with boot camp and all of them. So, but I was, you know, I was a kid. It was before I had any aspirations. Like, yo, I want to rhyme. Like, I was playing around, but I wasn't like out there. You know what I'm saying? I was still trying to figure it out. And so I always played with bars like from like ever, but like as far as I'm rhyming.
Yeah.
What made me say, yo, I
You
can't
always
play
enjoy
what
wordplay.
made me say I can't play with these niggas? Like, and I was already having fun, but what made me say I can't? No, I gotta. If niggas is rapping like this, I have to. When Smooth and Trigger drop Broken Language, yo. Broken Language changed my whole perspective on the earth. I was like, oh, all right, niggas is rhyming. Like, I bet. Like, you feel me? Like, so that was pivotal to me. And I'm
I
from Bad
remember
Side,
that
so
day.
they my neighbors. They in the Ville, they Brownsville, so they like 15 minutes from me, like 10 minutes from me type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was a connection like that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But when I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, I can't play. I can't play. Nah, I can't play. and, and, and and as far as the name,
Yeah.
I was a kid, man. Like I never when I started rhyming, I didn't have no rhyme name. I just oh that's yeah. Like, you know, I was holding on. I was holding on for dear life, sir. But I didn't have no rhyme name. You know what I mean? So people just call me my name, yo L. You know what I'm saying? It was just my initial and shit. You know what I'm saying? But there was a bunch of rappers that already had L's. You know what I'm saying? Like Big L already existed. Like they used to call Lauryn Hill L Boogie and shit. Like so, there was a bunch of L's, LL Cool. Like it was a bunch of L's. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't. So I was just like, damn. Like I'm rapping. Like people ask me what my name is. I was just so I just like I gotta get it the fucking name. And in
Okay.
essence, like as a grown ass man, I should just use my name. But you know, but whatever. But I always play with the punchlines and shit. You know, that was what I have fun with because I was outside, like you not intimidating. You feel me? So my whole thing was to get people's attention from jump. So my style kind of so Poison Pen was like I was punchline heavy at the time. You know what I mean? I still play with punchlines now, but it doesn't like define what I do. But I still, as you can hear, but I'm more like fuck the punchlines. I'm more like similes and entendres and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? More than the punch. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, that's what I did. It was punchline. And I was like, and I'm a kid. I'm like, oh, Poison Pen. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? So what happened was I was reading the newspaper because I was a nerd. So I read the newspaper every day. And there was an article in the paper, and it said something. I was reading the New York Daily News, and it was an article that said, and there was a big headline that said "Poison Pen," right? And it said something. It was an article. There was some dude, some fucking weirdo was writing wild letters to people and shit, like, and it was like sent Poison Pen letters, and I was like, yo,
Oh, like with the different letters, like the different misshaped letters and shit
right.
like that. Yeah.
Like that's a Poison Pen letter, or just say like if I wrote to an anonymous, just like matter of fact, like those YouTube comments could be considered Poison Pen letters. Like if I just hit your email with some real foul, flagrant shit, just disrespecting you and your family, whatever type shit, that's a poison. That's considered a Poison Pen. That was what they called a Poison Pen letter back in the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just like Poison Pen letter. I was like, oh, Poison Pen, and I was like, yeah, Poison Pen. And then one day, my man asked me my name, and I was like Poison Pen, and niggas laughed at me. And then when niggas laughed at me, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make it where niggas can't laugh at my name. Cause when I was a kid and I heard Snoop Doggy Dogg, I laughed at that name. I thought that name was retarded, but I was also a kid. Like that sounds like a cartoon character. And that's no disrespect to Snoop. Snoop the big homie. I'm saying as a kid, when I heard the name, I'm like Snoop Doggy Dogg, and I laughed. And then I heard him. Then I heard deep cover, and I was like, I wasn't laughing no more. Like so when niggas laughed at Poison Pen, I was like, what? All right, I'm gonna fuck all y'all niggas up.
Sound minds. That's the gem right there. You know what I'm saying? It's how you define it. It's how you last. It's how you keep it sustainable, right?
Word.
I feel like what you said too to people about like being individual shows, like I mentioned earlier, a brother named Iron Solomon. I feel like Iron Solomon is one of the illest battle rappers. This like, even if people give him credit, like I seen him freestyling in the street, battling people off the top, killing it. Dumbfounded, the other brother, the Asian brother, one of the illest MCs, I think. You know what I'm saying? And again, I feel like you're one of the cats that recognize and link people together. So I always feel like hip hop is like, we talk about how a lot of times we don't talk about the activism, but we probably know more people as MCs and hip hop artists that's working with youth, that's working with parole, that's working in nonprofits, than is out here getting Grammys and in limousines. You know what I mean? Like we probably know more people like that. So it's like
the Breeze Brewing. I know a lot of hip hop artists in the community for real. You know,
Queen Heroin, his sister too, teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's the question basically? Like, how much is that important for you to like expose people? Do you feel like, I feel like these type of cats, whether they're white or Asian or I remember y'all did something overseas in like the Philippines, got a crazy scene. Shout out to Boo, Allison, everybody in the Philippines, you know what I mean? In front of
Jay-Han, shout out to Mike Swift. My Brooklyn niggas went to the Philippines and took over and shit. You know what I'm saying? My Brighton Beach niggas. You know what I'm saying? My South Brooklyn niggas.
Yo, the crowds out there, like
crazy. They did the battle out there, the Arenetta Dreams, when we did Swave 7 versus Disaster out there. And they booked that shit in the same venue that did Thriller in Manila, yo. Shit was wild.
Ooh. Well, hold up. Let's just go to that story real quick before I continue. What was that like?
I didn't go. But they, but
they
Mike
told you the story. Like I know Swave told you the stories.
Yeah, I mean it was a great time. I can't tell you his experience. I was just happy.
Did he come back different? When he came back, were you like, bro, you a different dude? Like
this motherfucker shot a video out there with motherfuckers with choppers and shit. Fucking, this is crazy. He shot the I'm a Goon video out there, just straight up in the hood out there in what part of it? In Manila, out in Manila and shit. But my good friends, they live out there. You know what I'm saying? My man Mike Swift, he's Pinoy. You know what I'm saying? He from there, but he was raised in Brooklyn. He was raised in Brighton. He from this side. You know what I'm saying? And then my man Jay-Han went out there with him. Jay-Han not even from the Philippines. He Turkish. Like, but they were just two Brooklyn motherfuckers. And Mike Swift went back home, and then they out there, they fucking doing well, man. And they bought Swave out. You know what I'm saying? So shouts to them, you know.
I don't know if it's black culture. I don't know if it's hip hop culture, but I feel like our people always want to show love to different people. You know what I mean? We're not the type to like be like everybody looks like this and that. So, but for some reason, like you talk about it with the battle leagues, I feel like that shows something deeper besides the battle. Like you're the type of person that recognize game, you recognize reality, you recognize people with talent all over. What was that like? Like, do you feel like you're one of the people that spotlight somebody and be like, that dude's white, that dude's Asian, but you know what I mean? Don't sleep on him. Like, let them be part of the culture. Like, how important is that?
That was very pivotal with bringing Jen to the scene, and that was the first thing I did. I was like, yo, I didn't care, because at that time it was still like an anomaly. Like, oh shit, this Chinese kid is nice. Like it was actually like.
My God. You remember Many Styles? Do you remember Many Styles? The racist, I don't know if it's even considered racist, but the horrible.
It was very racist, but it was a classic line.
That's my dude. Shout out to Many. That's my brother. But
he said, yo, this is an old battle, so this is not me speaking.
You remember what he said?
I remember lyrics. This is what I do. He said,
you look
He said, "You
deceitful.
squint your eyes and look deceitful."
Deceitful.
That's why God hates Chinese people. I
People.
was like, yo.
We
And
was
like, and freestyle that at a battle.
30
in a
years
whole-
later. 30
Yo,
years
I
later, we
remember that,
still
bro.
remember that. That was such a. But then Jen
Yo,
grabbed off that, right? That's what he was waiting
Yo.
for.
I'm on my other phone. I'm hanging up this one.
Yo, like,
Yo, so this is
if we
definitely
ever had
an
a
exclusive right here. You know, for the most part, definitely an exclusive premiere. You know what I'm saying? The first episode back, season 5. You can't ask for nothing else. You know what I mean? And I think for the most part, we are going to start closing up and rounding out. Our brother Penn, this is just the love, just based off of the fact that we can build as much as we can build. So, I mean, we probably going to have a second episode with Penn. You know what I'm saying? And just build on that note.
especially
but
when he
this-
dropped that book.
Yeah. So when that book, and you got it here, exclusive. He's working on a book. He's working on some dope things. You know what I mean? So I think for the most part, you can't get it no better than the season premiere right here. You know what I mean? This is season 5 for you.
Yo, this is the first time I haven't even looked at my watch. Like, I put my phone down. I got my screen maximized. I can't even see the time. Don't tell me what the time is.
Right.
I'm just saying that to say, like, you know how we be in a cipher back in the day?
Hey,
So,
yo,
like,
we off?
when the venue shut down, we still be outside. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting that type of feeling. Like, this is the first time I haven't been like looking at the clock, looking at the time. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
beautiful thing.
definitely. I think it's dope, man. I think it's fire because that's the type